Chris Watkin here, joined again by Luke Jones, ex-USA real estate agent, now come over to the UK and now is pulling up some trees, coaching and guiding estate agents on the best way to be agents. Why are estate agents so bad at getting decent fees in the UK? Talk to me.
Well, let's put it into context first, right? Which is I think important. So in other countries such as Australia or in the US, the commissions are much larger, typically 5 to 6, 7%, something like that. And over there, they are, again, we talked about this in another video, they're highly skilled, highly paid fiduciaries where the vendors have no issue about paying those fees because they see value. I think that over here, it's a race to the bottom because the mindset of the agent is that they don't bring any real value. They just think of themselves as transactional agents. So they go into it with this kind of like, I've got to make it as cheap as possible because the client doesn't want to pay my high fee. So I think mindset's everything, really.
I think what is very interesting is that there was 2 reports, one of over 10,000 vendors and one of over 1,000 vendors, in December 2021, and both, it might have been the autumn, but splitting hairs, and basically every vendor was asked, how important was it that you went with the cheapest estate agent, and both reports came in at 17%.
Interesting.
And then just to cover it, they then asked, because some people say, well, of course it's going to be the cheapy agents. They were then given 10 10 options, 10 things that made you choose your estate agent. And they wanted to pick the 5 highest and then put them in order. And again, 15, 16, 17%. Wow.
Okay. I think what's really interesting is that actually right now there's a massive flight to quality. People want the best, right? And they want it fastest. Amazon thing, it's like they just want the best. But they also don't want to overpay. And they also want to feel as if there's value. Now, I think that it's about value, it's not about price. And I think that people will pay for value. So if you can show the value,
you've got to
I don't think the
there
fee
you go.
becomes the issue.
And that comes the point, is that most estate agents won't spend 3 or 4 days going through every single value, every property they've sold, working out the pound per square foot and then working out what their competitors have done.
Well, that's right.
But if you can't prove the worth, how can you show worth?
That's right. And crucially, the word is show, right? So you want to be able to go into any situation, and really it's why, the elevator pitch, which comes from the Hollywood days, right? Where you had like 30 seconds to wow someone and you had to tell this story and connect with them, but then show them the vision. So you've got to be able to show people why you're worth it,
Does that come down to training and coaching that are much better in America and Australia compared to the UK?
A huge part of it is that, and I think at the very beginning, it's all about the mindset piece. So I think mindset, like I said at the beginning, mindset's everything, right? So I'll give you a quick example, typically, of how one would handle the commission objection. And ultimately, you would go in and say, look, what I'm more interested in, we'll talk about commission, but what I'm more interested in is ensuring that you get the highest possible price for your property from the most qualified buyer in the time frame that suits you. And what I'm more interested in learning is what you want to net, like what do you want to walk away with? And then I might even ask a question like, what are you going to do with the proceeds from the sale? What do you want to buy? And all this stuff. So that then you really understand what they want. And this net conversation is so important because then ultimately it doesn't really matter what your commission is if they're netting what they want. And then you show them how you're going to deliver the results that they need, that they want. And then there's going to be no issue with them paying that fee as long as you then deliver, right? You've got to over-index on delivering the results that you said you would. Otherwise, that's curtains and they won't refer you in the future. But there's no reason why someone won't pay the big bucks if they see that you're delivering real value backed up by incredibly good systems and processes and sort of marketing and branding and all that stuff.
It sounds very simple to do, but is it easy to put into practice?
No.
So what do agents need to do? I'd almost take a step back and will take a week off from valuing and get all their stories lined up, get all their facts and figures lined up?
I think an agent really needs to take a hard, long look at like what their goals are and what they want to achieve from this business. And are they in it for the quick buck, or do they want to be in it for the long run? And then if they choose to be in it for the long run, they can choose to implement strategies that are really going to get them the higher fee down the line. And it could be as simple as literally role playing and scripting and dialogue practice every day, or it could be something a bit bigger, which is actually choosing to go out of that employer and building your own business, for example.
So, boys and girls, the fact that you can't get the higher fees is all to do with your mindset, proving your worth, showing your worth, telling a great story. Yes, it's easy, it's simple, but it's not easy to put into practice.
Absolutely, and I would frame it in another way that ultimately your single aim as an agent is to go out there and build trust, right, through relationships, in order to then set the appointment. When you set that appointment, sit down with them in their home, that's when you have that window of opportunity to sell your services by showing the value. Then when you get the instruction, over deliver, like wow them, deliver this amazing experience, so then they have no hesitation in using you again, but referring you, rinse, repeat. It's again, it's simple, but it's definitely not easy.
Thank you for your time today, Luke.
You're welcome.